Hi guys, this is Wobai playing Raid Shadow Legends. Just want to quickly go over my Nightmare Clan Boss team. I know this is probably one of the main goals for people just based on the rewards that you can get daily. So I thought it'd be good to go over my team for the Nightmare. Just want to keep in mind for you guys that I am slowly progressing to the Ultra Nightmare. That's why some of the stats might be a little higher than you would need for the Nightmare, considering like the accuracy. But just want to keep that in mind as we go through this. So in my team, I ran a speed comp counterattack team. So speed is very important for me to keep an order of who goes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 order there. So what I've done was my lead is Martyr, and she's going to be my counterattack. And I've put her in lifesteal with some accuracy gear just to get the accuracy up to where I would like it to place for decreased defense and decreased attack. All of my team actually does have lifesteal because I don't have anyone to heal them. So I'm going to rely on that set of gear to keep my team healed. So what I've done was, for Martyr here, I've actually made her the second slowest in my comp here. Normally for your counterattack you want them the very slowest, but in this case I have her as the lead, so she's going to actually get the hit for the stun attack on the clan boss. But what I do is I have Grizzled Jarl. He's actually going to be my slowest on the team, and he's going to place a block debuffs right before the clan boss goes. That's why I want him to be the slowest on the team after Martyr takes her turn. So just want to keep that in mind. So Martyr here, I've basically made her in the lifesteal. I'll quickly go over all the pieces of gear. Just want to keep in mind that I am primarily focused on defense and speed. Those are my two main priorities. And then depending on the character, I want a certain amount of accuracy to land crucial debuffs. And what I'm slowly progressing towards on all my champions on the clan boss is having their gloves, their chest, and their boots all defense percent. So when I do that, I really have to get my speed up to where I want it. Normally on a Nightmare clan boss, you want your speed around 171 to 189. Ultra Nightmare actually is higher, but in my case, how I have it set up, I actually run the same speed, and I just miss a turn on my counterattack and make up for it trying to survive longer. But for the Nightmare, I won't miss that turn, so I have all three pieces of gear defense. If you look at my overall stats here, my speed is 173, so everyone on my team except Jarl will need to be faster than that. Jarl will need to at least be 171 and lower than 173 to get that buff on our champions. Her accuracy is 250, which probably is a little too high for her. I mean, I do use her for the decreased defense a lot, but she lands it pretty consistently. Ultra Nightmare I don't really have trouble either. Her defense is around 4,500. That's going to be about my goal for everyone eventually, is around 4,000 to 5,000 defense. And then HP, it's around 30,000, which is decent. I don't really focus on crit rate or crit damage for any of my characters right now. It's mainly going to be focused on surviving and having those poisons tick. For the masteries here, I went down offense and support. The main thing on offense that I need for Martyr is this War Master to proc. That will get my heal for my lifesteal set, and also maximize my damage for her. On the support, main things here are lasting gifts, try to extend that counterattack and increase defense. And then Master Hexer, just another little perk there for your decreased defense. And when she puts the decreased attack, just to help out a little bit. I'll just quickly show you the skills. You guys are probably familiar with the skills there. There's your decreased defense. Here's your counterattack and increased defense. And this is on 3 cool turn down, which is very important for when you want to auto. And then there's your decreased attack. And then here's our R that we're going to use as the lead for increased defense. Next, I'll talk about Jarl here. And what I've done with him is also life steal set. I have focused on accuracy, defense, and speed. So again, defense around 4,500. Speed is at 171 to get that just in front of the clan boss, but behind Mortar there. Accuracy 232 just to help out a little more with that decreased attack. Other than that, my main focus here was just the defense. So I'll quickly show you the pieces of gear here. You can always pause it if you need to look closer. And again, I think I ran all defense percents for the gloves, the chest, and the boots. And for masteries here, I've also went down the offense tree along with the defense. So the offense, main thing here again was the War Master to get it to prop, to heal, and then kind of maximize his damage. Since he is defense based as well, just like Mortar, he's going to hit pretty hard. And then for the defense, I wanted this counterattack retribution because there are going to be turns where he doesn't have that counterattack on. So when he loses a certain amount of percentage of health, he's going to get a chance to counterattack to heal back up again. So that was kind of the main focus there. Okay, next I'll talk about Terrell. He is my main decrease attack champion that I'm going to be utilizing here. Very important debuff to have on your clan boss at all times, especially the higher you get for difficulty. He's also using lifesteal. I've tried to, again, focus him on defense, but I wanted his accuracy to be pretty high. So defense around 3,000, accuracy around 250, and then his speed is 180, which is in that range that I want for the clan boss team. I didn't want it over 189. I don't want to overlap the clan boss. I'll quickly show you the gear here. And it looks like I went crit rate here for now. I didn't have a defense defense gear to put on him yet. That's why his defense is a little lower than the other 2 champions. And looks like I had HP here and then a defense. So eventually I'll want my chest and gloves to be defense as well. But for now, that'll have to do till I get some better gear. This is the main skill that we want to use for him. As you decrease attack 50%. He'll land this almost every time, especially if you have it booked out. His A2 here, just to help out, will lower the clan boss's defense. And then the A3 hits pretty hard, but again, you're not going to be able to reduce the turn meter of the clan boss. So if you're manualing it, you don't want to overuse this probably. I probably would stick with make sure you have the attack up, and then when you need help with the defense, if you have room, you can use this, but you're probably going to get more use out of the 2-hit here, just because of the mastery that we're going to use. So for the masteries, I've also went down the offense and support. Again, focusing on that War Master to get that to proc to maximize his damage. I had used Master Hexer here to extend his debuff for the decreased attack mainly. And then I wanted an extra chance to land that, so I've also used the Sniper here to get that extra 5%. That helps out quite a bit. Also want to mention all these guys, since I am speed comp for counterattack, I am not using any turn meter masteries here, because I want all my guys to go in the same order every time, hopefully. Otherwise, it's going to mess up my counterattack. Next, I'll talk about Rosin here. Also, lifesteal, trying to focus on my defense. His defense is a little over 3,000. Ideally, I want that in the 4,000s. 231 for accuracy, pretty good. 178 for speed, so it does fall within that range that I want. Quickly show you his gear here. You can, again, always pause it. So it looks like I got a couple 4-star defense ones here that I need to replace, and then I want to replace the speed boots with defense as well, if I can keep my speed up to where I want it. For his skills here, this skill is really good. I'll show you the mastery here that utilizes this, but it hits 3 times, and when the clan boss is not a void, if it puts up a buff, it'll actually have a chance to remove it, which is pretty helpful. The A2, this is the one that I'm basically using him for. It's the decreased defense as well as the weaken, and it's the 3-turn cooldown, which is again very important when you're going to do an auto clan boss. His A3 is a turn meter, so it's not going to be utilized for the clan boss, and then we're not going to use Aura here because we're going to use Martyr. For the masteries, I've used offense and defense. The main focus here was Giant Slayer. His A1 hits 3 times, so you're going to want to use Giant Slayer to get that to proc as much as possible. That's going to heal him and maximize his damage. And then I've also used Retribution, just in the event that he doesn't have counterattack up, he can have a chance to counterattack as well. And then last here, I have Occult Brawler. He is going to be my poisoner. Hopefully, if I can stay alive long enough, he's going to deal a good percentage of my damage. Again, I've done lifesteal set with some speed. I need to rework him. Right now, I have him very high HP, but his defense is too low. His accuracy is definitely high enough to land those poisons, and his speed is within that range that we want. But I need to rework him to get his defense up to make him survive longer. I'll quickly show you the gear that I have on him. So this guy definitely needs some rework. My guess is, yeah, HP for both of those sets there. So HP on all 3 of them, which long term I need to get all 3 of these to defense. His skills here. His A1 has a chance to place 5% poison. That's the better poison version. So that's a pretty good A1 that you want. His A2, I don't really utilize this a lot other than trying to remove his debuffs. It has a lot of different things in here based on how many debuffs he has on him at the time he uses it. But for the majority of the time, it's just to remove all the debuffs that he places on himself and a clan boss. His passive here, this is probably what gets him the most damage here. So he'll place a 2.5% poison debuff on him on each turn that he has, but he has a 70% chance to place a 5% poison debuff on an enemy for 4 turns, which is very long. And then I'll show you mastery here. We actually can potentially get this to 5 turns. So between his A1 and his passive, he has a lot of damage potential with this clan boss. So in the masteries, I've also went down offense and support. I did War Master because his A1 is a 1-hitter. And then for the supports, this is the Master Hexer that we can extend those poisons. So anytime you can get those poisons to last longer, definitely beneficial. And then here's extra 5% chance for those poisons to land. So I'm going to quickly just try to show you a battle here. I'll probably cut the battle a little bit to make sure the video is not too long, but I'll show you how I started out to get my auto to run. So here I have Martyr as the lead, and then Jarl, he's the next in line here. So hopefully Martyr will get the hit, but Jarl will have the buff on the block debuff, so Martyr doesn't get stunned. Other than that, based on the order here from right to left, top to bottom, is the order that they'll counterattack in. Normally you want your decreased attack to land that hit first to make sure you don't run out of room on debuffs. But I don't think I'm going to have a problem with that since I only have one poisoner currently. And we're going to quickly take off the auto here. Okay, so right now I'm just going to, I don't need decreased attack on the first couple waves, so I'm going to just use some of these to get them out of the way. I'm going to use A2 to decrease defense and weaken for Rosin. I'm going to get that set up for whenever I counterattack, I can have maximize my damage. I'm going to do the A1, try to land a poison. I didn't, but his passive did. I'm going to put up my counterattack, because he's going to do the AoE here. Jarl, we just don't want to use the A2 right now. We want to wait for that. Okay, so here's the AoE. We got all our counterattacks up. We got the decreased defense and the weaken. So hopefully we can land some poisons as well as War Master and Giant Slayer procs. We're going to go through one more wave of AoEs and then we can place that block debuffs on before we auto. So right now Brawler has 3 debuffs. I'm going to go ahead and use the A2 to remove all those debuffs. Eventually when he does the auto, he'll do it by himself. Okay, last round of AoEs here. See, Jarl does not have a counterattack, so eventually when the clan boss starts hitting harder, he'll lose enough health where he'll have a chance to counterattack. And anytime we can use that A1 for Brawler, we're going to do it. Try to get as many poisons as possible. So now the clan boss is about ready to stun. So I'm going to use my A2 here, block debuffs. He usually will focus on Martyr here. Nope, he didn't. He focused on Jarl that time, but Jarl didn't get stunned. That's the key. So right now we can actually auto, and it should be in order for our counterattacks and our block debuffs now. We'll go through one round here and then maybe I can cut the video to the very end. That way you don't have to watch the whole battle. Yep, we're getting some War Master and Giant Slayer procs. That's where Jarl loses counterattack since he goes after Martyr. So eventually, hopefully, he can utilize that defense mastery counterattack. Here comes the block debuffs. And then there's the stun. Nobody stuns. And there you go. Yeah, again, I'll try to cut the video and see if I can show you guys the very end of it for the results. Okay, it looks like we're about 9.5 minutes in. For some reason Rosin got his A2 off here on his order. Didn't really pay attention to how that happened. But usually for when it's void on auto on a good run, I'll get around 30 million, and on a bad run, I'll get around 20 million. A lot of that has to do with Occult Brawler, how many times he can consistently land all his poisons. Ideally, I'd want to, switch Rosin for someone that could still do the decreased defense and weaken, along with helping out with poisons a little bit. Something like Venus, Draco, but that's just kind of a wish, though, I guess. So here pretty soon, I think I should be falling. Looks like I'm starting to get hit pretty hard, but then we'll see. We'll see what it ends up being here. Again, Mortar's consistently putting up the counterattack right after the clan boss does the stun to get ready for the two AoEs, and Jarl is consistently putting up the block debuffs right before the clan boss does the stun attack, because both of those skills that we're talking about there are 3-turn cooldowns. So when you place them right and then hit auto, it should always prioritize in that order where it hits them every run. Okay, we lost Jarl there, so we should be starting to go down. People are going to start getting stunned, and we're going to get hit hard here. So I think Brawler should be one to fall, just since I don't have his defense up a lot. Defense is definitely a lot more beneficial that I've noticed than hit points. I just didn't have enough defense gear to do that with him. So we'll see who falls next. And it looks like I'm lasting a decent amount of time. Of course, I am on my tablet, which goes a little slower. When I'm on my PC, all these turns happen a lot faster, so I can't actually remember what's a good time for my tablet. Because definitely the PC, I wouldn't have lasted this long just because the rounds would have went through a lot quicker. Okay, so yep, there's Brawler. He doesn't have the defense to sustain there. So right now, it kind of just all depends on how many War Master and Giant Slayer procs we can do to keep getting healed. Since I don't have a healer, that is my only way to stay alive. Okay, we lost Rosin there. Yeah, so if they don't proc those on these late stages of the clan boss, they're not going to stay alive very long, because he's basically taking, a half to 3/4 of my hit points every hit. All right, so surprisingly, Terrell lasted the longest. Okay, so 25 million, around about 26. So that's about average for me. Again, Occult Brawler dealt most of the damage. If I can increase my defense a little bit, maybe get Allied Protection Champion or something to last longer, that will help. But if you guys found this video useful, please like and subscribe below. Thank you.